Throughout the last century, mankind has experienced some of the deadliest wars in the entire history of the world. The worst of these being World War II. This devastating conflict resulted in upwards of 60 million casualties throughout the course of the many battles of the war. One of these being the Battle of Iwo Jima, the Japanese superfortress. Today we will outline the lives of the 6 men who symbolized triumph over the Japanese and their famous photo, Flag Raisers, as well as the book by James Bradley outlining these events, The Flags of Our Fathers.
Ira Hayes was the man behind Franklin in the picture. Ira was born on January 12, 1923. He was born in Gila River Indian Reservation in Arizona. Ira was a member of the Pima Indian tribe. In his early life, Pima Indians weren't considered citizens and couldn't vote. Ira enlisted in the Marines 9 months after the bombing of Pearl Harbor when he was 19. Ira was sent off with a traditional Pima celebration.
Another one of these men was Franklin Sously, who was born on September 19, 1925 in Hilltop, Kentucky. He is pictured between Ira Hayes and Jack Bradley in the famous photograph Flag Raisers. Franklin faced many hardships growing up, such as his brother dying, living without electricity and plumbing, and his father dying. This made him grow into the man of the house and mature quickly. As the war started, he had no intention of joining until he was drafted. He decided not to accept this role as an infantryman and instead joined the Marines. He would later fight in Iwo Jima next to his comrades Mike Strank and Harlon. He would never return home, though. He died by enemy sniper fire in the back near the end of the battle, so close to the end that soldiers were already boarding ships back to America's soil. For such an alert man, this was not expected of him. One of these men was John Bradley. He was born in the small town of Antioch, Wisconsin in 1923. He can be found in the photograph Flag Racers between Franklin Sously and Harlon. This sturdy little town would be the place where he would return after the war and start and raise his family. This town would also eventually become the place of his death. His parents were Catherine and James J. Bradley. His dad was a veteran from World War I, as well as working in other jobs like railroading and bartending. He was a religious person, which would later influence his decision to become a courtsman and open a funeral home after the war. He served in many different battles as a corpsman for the Navy in Iwo Jima, putting his very body in front of enemy fire just to save his comrade. He saved hundreds of lives. Many of the men he served with still remember him as a hero.
Harlon was born in Rio Grande Valley in Texas. He's the man pushing the flag into the ground in the famous picture. He was born on a farm outside of a small town. Harlon was raised as a Seventh-day Adventist. If you didn't know, Seventh-day Adventists strictly believe in the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." All Christians believe in this, but the Adventists take it to heart. They are taught never to carry a gun or knife because God will provide them with all the protection they need. In Harlon's free time, he loved to race horses. He also was on the high school football team. He then, with his football team, enlisted in the Marines. Harlon later died in combat.
Strank can be found in the famous photo, Flag Raisers, in the back row behind Sously. Strank was born on November 10, 1919 to a poor family in a small farm town in Czechoslovakia. Mike came to America in 1922. Mike's father indirectly prepared him for the army, following a strict policy of punishing all of his boys for one offense. This punishment technique would become the main technique implemented into the army throughout the coming years. In the 1930s, Mike joined the Civilian Conservation Corps, another factor in indirectly training him for war. He left the Corps in the year 1939 and enlisted on October 6, 1939. Strank was killed in combat during the Battle of Iwo Jima. Rene Gagnon was born on March 7, 1925. Gagnon can be found in the back row behind Bradley in the famous photo, Flag Raisers. Gagnon attended a Catholic grade school throughout his early years. Gagnon dropped out after only 2 years of high school so that he could work full-time. Gagnon was drafted in May of 1943 and enlisted into the Marines. Gagnon promised to marry his current girlfriend, Pauline, once he returned.
In March of 1944, the 6 men found their new homes in Camp Pendleton, Los Angeles. There they were assigned to Company E, nicknamed Easy Company. Easy Company was led by Captain Dave Severance. This company was nicknamed the Spearhead because of the role the company would play in the upcoming battle. This company went through rigorous training in the days leading up to the battle. This included training every man with an M1 rifle. Strank was the head of one of the company's best squads. This squad included Harlon, Ira, and Franklin. Gagnon, due to his social awkwardness, was seen as a coward by his fellow soldiers. This misconception went so far as some soldiers believing that he just wanted to take the easy way out. On September 19, the Marines left San Diego to pursue the upcoming battle. Some would never return to their American homelands again.
The night before the battle, there was complete silence. Everyone had fear in their eyes. It was a beautiful Pacific night. The peaceful night was broken by red streaks erupting in the sky. When they arrived at the island, it was calm for about an hour. Then out of nowhere, men started dropping. A soldier mentioned it was loud, it was quiet. Little did the men know the fire was coming from underground. The Japanese established an elaborate system of underground tunnels. The first day had come to an end. Throughout the bloody morning, fresh troops kept landing on the beach, just adding even more casualties. 566 men were tragically killed on the first day. 1,755 young Marines were injured. When the remaining soldiers awoke, they were greeted by rain and harsh winds. The Marines pressed forward at a costly price. Men were getting massacred by the minute. Easy Company advanced into the eye of the storm. There were mangled bodies everywhere. Images of blood-soaked shirts and disembodied limbs would haunt the survivors for years to come. The Americans finally pushed through and were close to the end of the battle when the pictures of the famous flag was taken.
In summary, Strank, Gagnon, Block, Hayes, Bradley, and Sously are now some of the most famous men in history because of their famous photograph, Flag Raisers. This photo was taken during the Battle of Jima, succeeding the first major American victory in the Pacific. This battle led to the death of nearly 7,000 U.S. Marines and the injury of another 20,000. Overall, this was one of the most devastating battles of World War II in the Pacific, and the famous photograph truly encompasses the struggle of the conqueror of the island Iwo Jima. The flag symbolizes the many men that died for their country, and the undeniable proof that the Japanese were not as unstoppable as they believed.
It still hurts, even though they were the enemy, they survived, they're still humans.